In today's video, we're going to talk about how to Dockerize your FASTAPI application. We will talk about installation, building an image, and deploying it locally. Let's begin. If you watched the previous video, you already have Docker Desktop installed, so you can skip this to the next timestamp. You can find the timestamps in the description below. So let's go over how to install Docker. Let's head over to docker.com, hit download, double-click to open it, and follow the instructions there to install Docker. Congratulations, you have Docker Desktop installed. Now let's talk about Dockerizing your app. A Docker file is a means to define an environment in which your code can run. Let's go over how to build yours. Each Docker file needs to define a base image where the code will run on. Think of it like choosing the computer where you run your app. You can run the code on Python, Ubuntu, and even Windows Server if you like. For my code, I will use the same Python version as my code repository is using, 3.11.1. The slim name means it's an image that only includes Python and what is needed to run it, so the image is smaller in size. Before we start anything, we need to install Poetry and some dependencies on your Docker image. We do that using the run method. After that, we need to copy your pyproject.toml and poetry.lock into your image. Next, we have to copy your Python files into the image too. We do both by using the copy command. Your Python code can't run without installing all the packages that we need to run it, just like you did locally. Let's use the run command to install all the packages. As a side note, you could create a multi-phase Docker file where you install all the packages using Poetry, and then you create a new image without Poetry and just move the packages into it, making a cleaner image. If you want me to show you how to do that in a separate video, let me know in the comments below. Before we continue onwards to the deployment phase, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my free blog where I post the written versions of these videos with code samples and exclusive personal stories for those who receive them by email. Find the link to subscribe for free below, and let's talk next about deployment. To deploy a Docker image, you first have to build it. We do that by using Docker build and passing the path to the Docker file. We can do the whole process in a tool like Docker Compose. I know, you're trying to learn Docker and I threw a new term at you. Let me explain what Docker Compose is. In simple terms, it's a YAML file that defines some instructions about what Docker images to launch and how to configure them. In this Docker Compose file, we see both a Postgres and the app configured. You launch the Docker Compose file with the command docker compose up. And the opposite to terminate the Docker images is to use docker compose down. The output you see on your screen will be very similar to what you saw when you ran the server locally, only now it has a prefix with the name of the Docker container. Wait, what's a container? Imagine your Docker image is a pie pan. A running Docker container is the pie that you bake with your pan. Your FASTAPI container is the object that is loaded to the computer's memory as a server and answers your requests, while the image that you built earlier is just a file on the hard drive used as a template. And to check it all works, you can use the Postman extension we introduced in the last video. We'll use the healthz API here just to get a response, and there you go. Now that you know how to build a Docker image, it's time to put it into use on Kubernetes, and when I release that video, you'll find it right here. If you want to see more of these videos, please hit the subscribe button and push the notification bell. If you like the video, please like the video because it helps out the channel find more people who might like this video just like you. If you have any questions, please comment below as I read and respond to all of them. Also, let me know what you think about this style of video where I try to make things more fast-paced. I would love to know your feedback, so please leave a comment below with your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.